Britain has some of the toughest gun laws in the world, but time and again, investigators have uncovered hidden arsenals that look more like a wardrobe than a criminal stash. Behind garage doors, inside fake walls, or hidden in engine blocks, these are the top 5 biggest firearms seizures in the UK. Between October 2016 and March 2017, the National Crime Agency and Counter-Terrorism Police led a 6-week crackdown on illegal weapons. It was one of the largest coordinated efforts of its kind. Officers across the UK carried out raids, searched properties, and intercepted deliveries. By the end of the operation, they had seized 833 firearms. Some were converted pistols, others were antique weapons that had been reactivated and made fully lethal again. There were also viable handguns and shotguns ready for use. Alongside the weapons, police found 4,385 rounds of ammunition, £500,000 in cash, and 80 kilograms of drugs. What made this operation remarkable was not just the number of guns, but the way they were discovered. The crackdown was powered by public intelligence. Crime Stoppers tips had pointed officers towards addresses and individuals suspected of dealing in firearms. Without these leads, many of the guns would have remained hidden. Dozens of people were arrested, with many later convicted of firearms and drugs offences. For law enforcement, this was proof that even with strict laws, the black market for weapons was thriving across Britain. In July 2017, customs officers at Coquelles, near Calais, noticed something suspicious about a van preparing to enter the Channel Tunnel. On the surface, it looked like a routine vehicle, but inside the trailer were 2 large engine blocks. These weren't normal engines. They had been hollowed out and packed with 79 pistols and ammunition. The weapons were compact revolvers, chosen for their ease of concealment and quick resale on the black market. Alongside them were dozens of rounds of ammunition, enough to fuel countless shootings once inside Britain. This seizure remains one of the largest firearm interceptions ever made at the UK border. The concealment method was sophisticated. Smugglers had used engine blocks because they were dense, heavy, and difficult to scan. But careful inspection revealed inconsistencies, leading officers to cut them open and make the discovery. The driver was arrested and later convicted of trafficking firearms. For investigators, it showed the lengths criminals were willing to go to smuggle weapons into the country. Had this load slipped through, dozens of gangs could have been armed in a matter of days. In 2015 and 2016, Kent Police and the National Crime Agency uncovered a conspiracy that remains one of the most serious in UK firearms history. A gang led by Harry Shilling organised the importation of 31 automatic firearms from Eastern Europe. The haul included Czech-made assault rifles, Scorpion machine pistols, magazines, and around 1,000 rounds of ammunition. And these were not antiques or converted replicas. They were modern, select-fire automatic weapons capable of sustained bursts. The shipment was brought into Britain aboard a motor cruiser, moored on the River Medway. The plan was to distribute the guns to gangs in London and beyond. What made this case even more alarming was the supplier. Investigators later confirmed that the same source in Eastern Europe had also provided weapons used in the Charlie Hebdo attack in Paris. When the case went to court, Shilling was handed a 35-year sentence, one of the longest ever for a UK firearms offence. Other members of the gang also received lengthy terms. The discovery of 31 automatic weapons on British soil shocked the public and underlined how organised gangs were seeking military-grade firepower. In 2019, a routine border force parcel check flagged suspicious items entering the UK. The parcels contained gun parts, and all were addressed to one man, Philip Malin. The discovery triggered a National Crime Agency investigation. In 2024, officers raided Malin's home in the Hampshire village of Kingsclere. Inside, they found 28 firearms, 11 replica guns, and boxes of ammunition. Some weapons had been purchased legally abroad, but were illegal to possess in the UK. Others had been converted or modified, turning blank firers into lethal handguns. Investigators traced purchases to 5 countries, including the United States, Canada, and Estonia. Maylen had built a network of suppliers, quietly amassing a cache capable of supplying gangs or criminals across the south of England. When the case reached court in 2025, Maylen admitted to 15 firearms offences. He was jailed for 5 years and 4 months. Many considered the sentence light given the number of weapons and the international sourcing. The case highlighted how easily parts can be ordered online and converted into working guns once they arrive. In 2015, Suffolk police raided the home of James Arnold, a parish councillor in the small village of Wiverstone. What they discovered became one of the most infamous gun cases in Britain. Behind a false wall, Arnold had constructed a secret room. Inside it were 463 firearms, ranging from rifles and shotguns to pistols, and even a rocket launcher. Alongside the guns were around 200,000 rounds of ammunition. The haul was so vast that bomb disposal experts spent weeks at the property ensuring it was safe to remove. Photographs later released by police showed piles of weapons stacked in hidden chambers. Arnold, who was in his 70s, died before standing trial. But his cache sparked serious questions about how such a large arsenal could be built in secret. A dealer who supplied some of the weapons was later convicted, but many of the sources remain unclear. The Wiverstone discovery remains the largest residential firearms seizure in British history. The idea that hundreds of guns, thousands of rounds, and military-style launchers could be hidden behind a wall in a village home stunned both the public and law enforcement. From nationwide crackdowns to border interceptions, from riverboats to secret bunkers, these cases show that Britain's strict gun laws have not stopped organised criminals from trying to flood the country with weapons. They also show the scale of the challenge facing police. These are the top 5 biggest firearms seizures in the UK, and each one prevented countless guns from reaching the streets